All right. The gaming industry is in a very weird place. Things are in shambles. I can't believe that this is pretty much how fast we're seeing what I think is this churning. There are like four stories here that I want to cover all together because at the end of the day, they kind of, in a sense, lend some credence to this particular change that we're seeing. But a little bit of context is quite necessary here because I think a lot of people are, in some sense, misconstruing what I have said or possibly reading my intentions and motives, what I consider being off in a sense. So I made this video, right? I talked about how the so called social media slam dunk on Elon Musk by Ubisoft's Assassin's Creed account was pretty much low hanging fruit. It does not in any way speak as to what Ubisoft needs to be taking care of right now. I even went ahead and talked about the fact that they've not treated their division community properly in a way that actually values them, having left their, core, gamers to go make these two Hollywood games, Avatar, Frontiers of Pandora, and even Star Wars Outlaws. Now, those of us in the division community, we knew about Avatar before almost anybody did. They actually mentioned it, and we were waiting for the division, news, whether we're going to get DLC or not. So I've been in the Ubisoft pipeline for a long time. Ubisoft, I'm probably one of those people you wouldn't even believe if I even told you some things that I actually know about the company and some interactions and, even the, relationship that I have with some of the developers and some folk within the company. So my aim is that this company actually can do well. I couldn't be bothered about the social media slam dunk nonsense that people may be feeling all over the place. And I think perhaps what y'all just saw is that you saw the much more serious side of my conversation, because if the business side is not healthy, the gaming side is not going to be healthy. The truth and the reality is Ubisoft needs much more than an Assassin's Creed Shadows slam dunk on low-hanging fruit, easily dunk uponable Elon Musk to basically save itself from what is going on right now. And what is going on right now in the gaming industry is that, number one, they look like they are basically shifting focus by setting up a new subsidiary with some of their very, very profitable titles and having an external investor come in and invest 25%, while at the same time, after writing a memo, they had their chief studios and portfolio officer come out and try to reassure other teams that are working on their games that, it doesn't mean that they're not doing enough. And even though there's a little bit of uncertainty, that they're going to find ways to ensure that, they get informed and blah, blah, blah. So basically, they've sowed uncertainty to their own employees that are giving them this slam dunk in other areas on top of a guy that doesn't play video games. And yet people are like, well, once in a while, they have to be able to find a means to actually, in a sense, go ahead and get some social media win. Bro, they need an entire structural win. This company is not healthy from the perspective that they need to be. And it took only less than 10 years for them to go from actually being on track to being what I think is a dominant force in gaming to getting to where they're actually hawking their IPs in conversations, according to what we heard, if that is true, to Microsoft and EA. At the same time, we're seeing that this same gaming industry is talking about Hogwarts Legacy having canceled its DLC, pretty much one of the highest selling games of 2023, the highest selling game, of 2023, canceling the definitive edition as a part of an ongoing restructuring. The sequel remains in development. They're trying to find ways to go ahead and clip some money. And even when you sell over 25 million units, I guess in this particular climate, you're probably still possibly open to being cooked. Yet, people are telling me that this social media win is some kind of importance. Do y'all not see that there are turbulent waters that need to be navigated by people who are dialed in and locked in? Or am I being too serious about people's livelihoods potentially, as the company has to come out here and say things like, of course, this brings some uncertainty and questions. These are the words of Marie-Sophie de Robert, who is the chief studios and portfolio officer of Ubisoft, after the company has taken some of its franchises to go seek extra investment. What's going to happen to those teams? Nobody knows. And we're over here all getting our knickers in a twist. I'm the one getting my knickers in a twist, I guess, over some stupid slam dunk to push a few copies that this company needs much more than. And I will tell you that I'm probably one of those people where Ubisoft, having invited me to multiple events as a Division creator, hooked me up with some real cool goodies in the past. I mean, many of you saw my Avatar Frontiers of Pandora video. Do you guys think I paid for that game? No, they hooked me up with a copy of that game. They hooked me up with a copy of Star Wars Outlaws. They also hooked me up with a copy of Assassin's Creed Shadows. I was trying to make a video for y'all, and I had some issues with my setup, and my 9070 XT had not come out. But I can even tell you that, ladies and gentlemen, there's something here that needs to be done. Now, sure, I get it. Maybe a clown move here and there, but the so-called talk in the press about this big, huge win or whatever it is, I mean, right after the so-called dunk, did we not see this information? Did we not start seeing this right afterwards? So all the cheering quickly got quiet. Once it got seen, oh, crud, this is what's going down. Or nobody knows what's going down at this point. Add to that, on top of everything, the next Arkham game, after the rumors that so-called PlayStation fanboys went ahead and spread, is going to be a cross-gen game. The gaming industry is not playing around with anybody anymore. I put these three stories together just to show you how hot the industry is right now. And anybody that plays around and messes around is going to get burned. It seems like size doesn't even matter. Like at this particular situation, the size, the gargantuan nature of your company, whatever influence you can wield, is not going to do anything to save you if your games are not selling and moving copies. The developers are the ones I actually am very, very wary for, because I'm pro-dev. I'm pro-dev because I'm a dev myself. I want devs to eat. I want devs to make games. They find themselves in situations that they can't really control everything about. And in my opinion, I'm thinking to myself, really? This is what we're going to be sitting here dealing with? Perhaps maybe I'm overthinking it. Perhaps maybe I'm just getting all wound up over nothing. I guess, maybe it's just me. Or maybe I'm looking at the industry and going, this is all messed up. And there needs to be a very huge level of focus. I saw some comments, some people saying, oh, people clown on Ubisoft all the time. But then when they clap back, people are saying, oh, they have to now be focused. Bruh, when have you seen me clown on Ubisoft before? I mean, as a division agent, perhaps I'll express my frustration, right? But if I knew clowning was effective, I'd do it. But it's not effective. What's effective is us getting to the truth of the matter, what is actually at the core of everything. So right now, there are so many uncertainties in the market in terms of the gaming industry. We're seeing all of this pretty much come into play. And I strongly believe that this is not the time for, jokes and giggles. This is the time for those who are in charge of people's lives and livelihoods to make smart decisions to ensure that those people are actually better served. To take some of your IP and start shopping them around doesn't inspire confidence to your teams. And as a division player, I mean, I come at the bottom tier of this whole thing where it's, oh, are we going to get a Division 3 game? I don't know. At this point, man, I don't know what they're going to do, but I'm just hoping that developers actually get a chance to get things done the way they need to. And this is just a big reality that Ubisoft needs to face right now. So I get it. Maybe when I made the video, we hadn't heard this news, so some people still thought everything was all lax. And I remember putting the video out in the morning, and then boom, by afternoon of yesterday, this news breaks as an exclusive from Tom Henderson. And I think it poured cold water on all that excitement real quick. You see anybody out there talking about the slam dunk on Elon Musk? No one is, because it's super and highly unimportant. What is important is the good management. This is why I said, and I made this video where I said, man, I didn't think Ubisoft needed, Microsoft needed to even deal with Ubisoft in acquiring their IP, that they needed to manage the IPs that they already have. Because I know how Ubisoft IP can be very expensive. They'll put 4 to 5 studios on one game. You guys think it's easy to launch more than one game a year? This is the company that launched 3 games in 2020 when everybody was postponing and delaying games. They did very well 5 years ago. But the cost of doing it is high. And so now they've gone to seek investment over here. And I'm not going to lie to you. The 1 billion dollars that Tencent put in here, it's euros, sorry. It doesn't really inspire me in terms of thinking that this is going to pretty much do a lot. I have to be honest. 1.4 billion euros in their kind of a cost basis is really, really low. This is a company that needs a lot of money to push out those IPs. Perhaps this is going to give them some breathing room to push something out there. I hope, right? So again, Sorry, but I don't take the premise of them having to go ahead and do some social media tirade as actually responsible. And it's just my opinion, I guess, on that side. However, it doesn't even detract from the fact that there are uncertainties right now within Ubisoft's ranks. More needs to be done, more needs to be looked at from a perspective of what is going on within the business. That's how it needs to go. All this talk about, oh, then this, I don't even know, man. I guess, guys, I do this stuff and, I enjoy doing it, but this is a part of it that really kind of gets me all wound up, I guess. When developers are in dire straits, I start seeing danger, danger, danger everywhere. Perhaps I'm overreacting. I think I need to give that, at least some consideration that I may be doing the most in this particular conversation. Who knows? Maybe I am. Y'all probably need to say some words that probably get me out of my little doom and gloom area of this whole perspective. It'll probably serve me as well too. Thank y'all for watching the video. I appreciate you guys' time and audience, and hopefully we'll talk pretty soon in another one. Peace out.